your arms have in an aesthetic physique. You know, be a man, go heavy as heck. There is absolutely nothing better than this right now. Getting a pump outside. Come here, Gris. What's up, Bubba? Welcome back to another video, you guys. We got our boys here, Grizzly and 𝗖cie. For those that are new, this is Titan, this is Grizzly, but today we're gonna be getting a crazy country arm pump. Now we're gonna be going through some of the basic arm movements and kind of walking you through how the arms make up a physique, sort of their role in an aesthetic physique. Now, one of the things I've been trying to work on is being more functional. You know, coming from a football background, being, you know, a really good athlete to now more bodybuilding focused, I've become less and less functional, less and less able to move around. So that's something we've been focusing on. But at the same time, we're really focused on building our aesthetics, building a physique that looks freaking sick in the mirror. So we're gonna be building our arms today and kind of walking you guys through the role that the arms have towards an aesthetic physique. Our little white honky pre-workout here is something that I started doing in college, and I learned it in one of my sport science classes. It's sea salt and then baking soda. So baking soda is an ergogenic, meaning it helps with performance. The biggest thing I've noticed that it helps with is how long I can go throughout a set. I don't really build up as much lactic acid in the muscles, so I can usually push myself a little bit better. So if you don't want to be buying all the crazy supplements online, you can get water, sea salt, and some baking soda. I do like probably a teaspoon or so of each with like 12 ounces of water, and then I feel really good for my workout. Don't do that. But we're gonna be walking you through today's arm workout. Now, your triceps make up probably 3/4 of your arms. I know you guys hear that all the time online. So we are gonna throw more triceps in than we do biceps. For me, biceps are really easy to hit, really easy to get a crazy pump. In my triceps are a little bit more tough to do. The same goes for legs. You know, your extensions, your quads, they're a little bit harder to get a pump, whereas my hamstrings, for example, I can do like 3 sets of leg curls and just be fried. And my hamstrings have grown just fine doing that. And the same thing goes for my triceps. I just gotta put a little bit more effort into them than I do my biceps. So we're gonna do some tricep push downs, some skull crushers, which I love skull crushers, and then shoot, we might just do a lot of sets of those two, and then move on to some basic bicep movements. I might only do one bicep movement, but stick around for the video, comment if you're new. And let me know down below how long you guys have been working out for, where you're from, and what are your favorite movements to build your arms. Let's get to this thing, boys. All right, so one of the best things about an arm day is how quick you can actually do it. You can realistically probably go back and forth between your favorite bicep movement and favorite tricep movement, do 6 to 8 sets of each and be in and out within 30 minutes. So that's kind of what we're gonna do here. We're gonna have a little bit more variety with movements, but starting out, we've got this makeshift tricep push down machine, welded just this, I think this is just conduit piping to this little metal bracket, welded that. And then we've got this wire, obviously like all crimped, and got a little carabiner. And then up top here, I don't know if you can see it, we welded a washer to this pulley system, ran a bolt through the top of this little Facebook Marketplace rack, and we're good to go. But I need to put some WD-40 on this thing. Honestly, sometimes when I put WD-40 on it, it's like so lubed up, it won't even spin the pulley. The cable will just move inside, if that makes sense. But I'm thinking 4 sets here to start out, then we'll move on to tricep skull crushers, and typically we'll see how that feels, and if we need more triceps, we might just come back to these and change up the variety a little bit, change up sort of the stance. I'm hoping this cable doesn't break because it's kind of frayed. Okay. I predicted it, did I not? Time for a new cable. So, we're gonna be doing tricep skull crushers and dips. Apparently I'm not that good of a handyman. Good little warm up, I guess. All right, God's really forcing us to go back to the basics with these ones. Yeah. 3 more. A couple of these. All right, what's cool about what I just did there is you can get so much more out of your set if when you're so fatigued on your tricep skull crushers, instead of just racking the weight, you can still get more out of it because the strongest part of that movement is the eccentric movement. It's almost like when you're doing a lat pull down, the strongest part is when you're coming up. You can really control that weight, and the same with these. So even though we might not be strong enough to get it back up, what we can do is what I call like tricep rollback. So we're gonna get in a skull crush position and do slow eccentric down, roll down to our side, press it up, get it back, and just keep going and get like 5 or 6 there, just to take everything to the next level, because if we still have some strength left in there, we might as well utilize it. But hey, do you have more cable? Like the cable I used on the tricep? Okay. Oh. Might be my favorite tricep builder right there. Skull crushers. Yeah, it snapped. I said to the video, I was like, it's looking frayed, so it might snap, and legit, it snapped. I mean, it lasted 4 years. Take off the gafas del sol. Ooh. Now let's talk about the role your arms have in an aesthetic physique. So a lot of dudes chase having big arms, and I get it, because having massive arms is fun, getting an arm pump is fun, but realistically your arms don't do too much from an aesthetic standpoint. When you're trying to build a physique that looks very aesthetic, when you look at it, it really comes down to like the silhouette. So the roundness of the shoulders, how small the waist is, the quads, you know, the things like that, that are kind of like on the outside of the physique. Now, doesn't mean arms aren't super important, but I would honestly prioritize your chest and shoulders more than your arms. And I'd rather have smaller arms and have my shoulders and chest a little bit more overdeveloped. Because I see guys sometimes who have massive arms, but nothing else in their physique is developed. They look like they kind of work out, but they don't like stand out, if that makes sense. So arms are important, but I also don't think that they should be your #1 priority unless they're so far off from where everything else is at. I'm hitting around 2 arm days a week right now. I would recommend, if you're trying to bring your arms up, to do them at least twice a week. I would say probably around 20 sets of each muscle group. More importantly, I've always said this in my videos, your chest and shoulders. Build those things out, and I swear you're gonna look like you're on steroids. You're gonna get the most steroid accusations, because the more capped and freaky that delt looks, the more round and, you know, thick your chest is, it just looks like you're juicing without actually juicing. So build those up, and then arms are relatively easy and fun to build if you have to catch them up. Going off of that last thing I talked about, while we do want to focus on aesthetics, there's a limit. I think dudes are going way too hard into it, to where they have the silhouette muscle group, super small waist, big shoulders, like, you know, the cis crap, but they also don't look like a man. They don't look like a dude that can actually like do something. He's not the kind of guy that you're gonna call up to help you move out of your house, or to come over and, you know, bale hay, or, you know, lay mulch. Like, that's not the kind of guy, you know. He's gonna struggle. You're gonna call the dude who is jacked but has massive traps, big neck, big legs, you know, big calves. That's the kind of guy that looks like he can actually do crap. And honestly, I think most women find that more attractive than just a dude that's super aesthetic, but a dude that looks like, almost like a threat, look like a threat from having a thick neck, big traps, big forearms. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, chase those aesthetics, you know, look great, but also make sure your body can look like a dude, you know? All right, so what I'm gonna do now is just some behind the head extensions. We're just gonna grab a plate. I don't have any heavy dumbbells, so we're just gonna grab this plate, go like that. Actually, I don't know, that doesn't feel too hot. There we go, we're gonna go like that. So just grabbing the plate in there. Oh, come on. Breathe. Okay. You are not really experienced enough if you don't track how many reps you're doing and you kind of just grab a weight and know that it's gonna feel good. That's how you know you're far enough along in your lifting journey. No, but seriously, I honestly don't count my reps really ever. And I honestly don't think too much about how much weight I'm putting on the bar, because I understand that progressive overload can be achieved with multiple things. It can come from obviously increasing the weight. It can come from lowering your rest time in between sets. It can come from slowing down your tempo with even a lighter weight. So even if I choose the wrong weight, I'm gonna get the most out of that set. And I'm not really counting because I understand hypertrophy can be achieved in multiple ranges. So whether you're doing 5 to 8 or you're doing 8 to 25, something like that, like it really doesn't matter as long as you're taking yourself to failure. Like that's my thing. I'm just not gonna leave anything on the table. You guys can get scientific about it. It's just not my thing. You know, I'd rather just pick a weight I think is gonna be heavy enough to obviously get me around 10 to 12 reps, but if not, you know, just keep going or lower the weight and just do what you gotta do. All right, a little change of scenery now. We're gonna do our bicep curls. Barbell bicep curls and skull crushers, two basics that you can do all the time and get great growth. You know, if you have a freaking broom, use a broomstick and a sandbag or jugs. You can get a killer arm workout with just that. Do what you can with what you got, but the tarp is coming off. That's a good sign that your arms are pumped when the arms will not come out of the shirt. There is absolutely nothing better than this right here. Getting a pump outside in God's creation. You know, everyone wants to sit around and scroll and scroll and scroll. Dude, you've got to strip yourself of that dopamine. Get good at being bored. Honestly, like get good at like just sitting and looking at trees. If you can do that, you'll find joy in so much. Like, it's crazy. The more you can live life and have fun unstimulated, dude. Come here, Chris. So we're starting to get leaner. You guys see getting abs starting to come out. All right, we're actually gonna do some side raises as well. I planned on doing shoulders today, but I didn't mention that I was gonna do shoulders. So we're just gonna do shoulders. Now with these, I'm not gonna focus on going super heavy. I'm just going light. Almost like when you're doing abs, sometimes it's better to do very light or body weight and go high volume, because I feel like you're gonna get way more cuts, striation, deeper, you know, muscle bellies. I think the same thing goes for shoulders. Obviously go heavy, you know, be a man, go heavy as heck. But sometimes it's okay just to go heavy or go lighter, because I feel like it just makes the shoulders so much more cut, so much more striated. And that's just completely bro science, but that's just personal experience. And I've heard many, many people before say that, who have not only great size, but also super diced muscles. So sometimes I might even just do a slight hold. We're just gonna sit here and fill the shoulders up with blood. Felt good. Just getting the blood in that jank. Now I'm only gonna do these. I'm only doing these for biceps. I already did arms earlier this week, so you know, 4 sets here, supersetted with the 4 sets of side raises, and I think I'm good. Like we said earlier, triceps make up a huge majority of your arm, so that's why we're doing a little bit more triceps than we are biceps. Woo! So we're starting to get leaner. You guys see getting abs starting to come out. Drop a comment down below if you guys, one, have trouble losing weight, and then if you do lose weight, do you have trouble dealing with the ups and downs of the scale? If you do, one of the biggest things, guys, is understanding why you might see those. First off, tracking your calories first and foremost. That has to be the thing that you're doing no matter what. If your calories are where they should be, when you see the scale jump, you know it's either from glycogen, sodium, water retention, stress, not getting enough sleep. So these are all things that are honestly pretty easy to fix. And if you give it a day or two of just resting, or you honestly just stop looking at the scale for a day or two, I'm telling you, you're gonna come back and realize that that was just a small spike from one of those factors that was making you just hold a little bit more weight. And it's not permanent and it's not fat. As long as your calories are where they need to be, you're gonna keep losing weight. So overall, just look at it from a weekly average, and you won't get so emotional or, you know, be upset when you see those small spikes. Another thing, guys, is as Christians, we're here to store our bodies at the end of the day. Do not let the scale become an idol. You cannot, okay? God does not want you to do that. He's giving you this blessing that we call working out, taking care of ourselves, taking care of our temple, and it can quickly go downhill when you start idolizing the scale. You let these things start controlling all of your thoughts up here, you can't be doing that. All your thoughts gotta be focused up here, okay? So do not let the scale become an idol. Trained shoulders pretty hard earlier this week. Actually got to go to my buddy's military base. He's in the Air Force. So we've been going there a couple times a week, and we murdered shoulders. So these are actually feeling pretty toasted. But let's go ahead and wrap this up. I don't gotta show you guys, but I'm gonna do last 2 more sets on the curls and side raises. All right, looking pretty freaking juiced up. Whew. Boom. So see the striations in the shoulders? I'll be honest with you guys, I think that is from, one, getting lean, but doing lighter weight. I'm telling you, year after year, my shoulders get more striated even sooner. So this year, I'm a little more fluffier, but my shoulders are leaner than they would have been if I was this fluffy last year. And I think the more you do that with each muscle group, you know, you find it a good in-between of going heavy and light and controlled, you're gonna start to bring out a lot of different, you know, freaky striations and crap. So that's gonna wrap up today's arm workout. The essence of today's video was, in order to have an aesthetic physique, arms are important. You should hit them. The camera looks like it's gonna tip over. Ah, screw it. You should hit them and hit them like crazy. But at the end of the day, if your shoulders aren't round, your chest isn't thick yet, don't get too caught up in doing them arms, because you can always have fun and get crazy arm pumps down the road. It takes a little bit more discipline and dedication to grow your shoulders and your chest. So put some effort into those. Besides that, guys, I hope you took away something valuable from today. If you guys need help with your fitness goals, say you're trying to lose 30 pounds in the next 90 days, or you want to get in shape before the end of summer, you can do that. Reach out to me. I have one-on-one coaching. Now, we have options for everyone. We have more premium stuff where it's one-on-one with me, one-on-one calls, group calls, texting with me. And then we also have something a little less hands-on where you get workout programs, meal plans, things like that. So you can click the link down below or somewhere up here. I might put it up here for that. And honestly, guys, that's how I make money off YouTube. I make money off of ad spend, my coaching business, which I am so blessed to be able to do, and sponsorships. So just to be transparent with you guys, that is how I make money on this thing. But I couldn't be more blessed to be able to have this be my job. I get to work out, take care of myself, educate, and help people, you know, not only hopefully achieve their physique goals, but also grow closer to Christ, learn something from me, learn from my experiences, so on and so forth. So I'm so thankful. But if you guys are new to the channel, comment down below, say where you're from. Like I said earlier, where you're from, what your favorite arm building exercises are. And yeah, that's gonna wrap everything up, guys. I love you. Go ahead and check me out on Instagram and TikTok. Always posting a bunch of reels over there. Faith, fitness, and motorcycles. And that's everything. Remember to love God, lift weights, live life. Hit that subscribe button.